Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, it doesn't work without you guys, man. It's Monday. How you hanging? You surviving? We're hunkering down. We're doing the right thing. We're trying to make sure that we keep our social distance. And in the meantime, we're trying to keep sane. And watching the talking heads because they don't have all the sports that they normally have to talk about. So they're kind of going through hypotheticals and things like that. So now we're actually talking about if the Cowboys would cut Zeke Elliott if his production slipped like Todd Gurley. Let's go to the tape.
Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk my favorite team. Let's talk about what Calvin Watkins.
You mean the one you throw their gear in the trash?
That Ezekiel Elliott will be different than Todd Gurley has been because the Rams obviously cut Gurley and ate $20 million of dead money off his contract. Calvin Watkins also writes that Zeke will be different than Devontae Freeman. And obviously the Falcons cut him with 3 years and $21 million left on his deal. Okay. So Zeke's deal makes him the highest paid in the league of the running backs, $15 million a year. The total deal is 4 years and $102.9 million with incentives. $45 million of that is guaranteed. So Calvin Watkins concludes.
So we got 3 more years before you can let him go. Without any pay. 3 years you can let him go with no pay.
And that he won't be anything like the bus that Todd Gurley and Devontae Freeman turned into in their original team's eyes. So, Shannon Sharp, I ask you, will Zeke wind up next year being more worth the money that Jerry Jones gave him last year?
Skip, Zeke is in a situation that's totally different than those two guys that you mentioned, Todd Gurley and Devontae Freeman. Those guys had injuries. Todd Gurley had a knee injury. Devontae Freeman had a knee injury. He had a foot, he had sports hernia, and he's been plagued with concussion. So, Skip, those situations are entirely different. If you look at Todd Gurley averaged 3.8 yards a carry, Devontae Freeman averaged 3.6, Zeke averaged 4.5 yards a carry. Zeke had 1,350 yards, which was fourth in the NFL. I get it. He didn't lead the league in rushing like he did 2 of his first 3 years. He didn't lead the league in yards per game like he did in his first 3 years. But Zeke is still a hell of a back. The thing that hurt Zeke was they played from behind. So the Cowboys weren't able to utilize him like they normally could. And Skip,
what hurt Zeke more than anything else is a lack of creativity. When you run first down Zeke Elliott every time in games, like we did against the Eagles, every time we're running Zeke Elliott up the middle on first down, teams know you're going to do that. What you need to do and understand is what made Todd Gurley great and the reason why the Rams ended up not being able to be as good last year was they got him the ball in space, out on screens and things. They weren't predictable. They weren't just running him up the gut all the time because this is how you're going to end up basically running the guy into the ground. And this is where when the Dallas Cowboys start using play action and things and start using a little bit of Dak Prescott and bootlegging and things, this is how you prolong the career. And dog, do I need to let your ass out? See, I'm at war with this dog. I'm at war with this dog. Anytime I'm trying to do something, this dog is acting up. But let's go back to the tape.
Mention Travis Frederick, although he made the Pro Bowl, was not himself. You admitted the offensive line. Zach Martin had a knee injury early, played the entire season. Tyron Smith was listed on the injury report some. He played the entire season. I think Lyle Collins might have missed 1 game, if I'm not mistaken. I think he missed 1 game. So with the influx of the offensive line and not playing to their maximum potential, Zeke still was the 4th leading rusher. Now, we saw what happened just for the AFC Championship game.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Did he just admit that the offensive line was in flux and was part of the problem with Zeke Elliott? Now, funny, he talked about Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott, I believe, had in the offensive passing had more yards than anybody else. And you're saying that there was an influx and a problem with the offensive line? Did we just catch him? Interesting. Because you just said, well, Zeke Elliott didn't perform as well because the offensive line was in flux. Is it a different offensive line for Zeke than it is the offense? I mean, for Dak? Oh, okay. Okay.
We saw when the Titans had the lead, Skip, everything was going well. They running Derrick Henry, boom. He getting 4, 5, 3 yards a carry. The moment they fell behind and they couldn't rely on Derrick Henry, the wheels fell off. Well, just imagine if you're down 28 points, you're down 17 points, you're down 14 points. You can't run yourself back into the ball game. You have to throw it. Zeke's situation is so different than those guys because Zeke has only missed game via suspension or sitting out because they had nothing else to accomplish. Zeke's situation is so different than theirs. Todd Gurley, Skip, he averaged 3.8, which was a full yard less than what he had just averaged the year before. So I don't like it, but it made sense for why the Rams did what they did. But it also goes to show you players, hey, look here, don't y'all be cutting no discounts. Because you see what happens when you give discounts? 3 years left. Now, Skip, we didn't talk about this.
Wait a minute. Wait. So you're saying players don't take discounts? Don't take discounts. So you talk about Dak Prescott and saying he should take a discount before, I believe. Didn't you say that before? Huh. Boy, we learned a lot today.
But you remember, what was it, 2 days ago, I think, maybe Friday, Bill O'Brien said the reason why they traded DeAndre Hopkins because he wanted to raise with 3 years left. But you see these teams have no problem cutting a player with 3 years left. We won't give you a raise with 3 years, but we will release you if you don't meet our expectations.
You're right about that.
If you exceed our expectations, remember you signed the contract. But Zeke is so different than these previous 2 guys that you mentioned, Skip. Zeke is going to be there for the foreseeable future.
This is interesting.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I want to embrace every word you just uttered because next year to me is all about Ezekiel Elliott. I told you the other day, I believe it was Friday, that I believe the Cowboy defense has been slightly improved by the free agent signings, bargain basement, great deals. Gerald McCoy, obviously.
I agree with that.
Dontari Poe, maybe Aldon Smith, maybe Randy Gregory, Clinton Dix. I think it'll be a little better, a little more veteran, a little beefier, a little stronger, a little stouter.
Hopefully a better attitude.
I'm happy about that. And because I got real happy about it, I told you the other day that I believe this team can win 10 games and go 10-6. The over-under, according to Fox Bet, is 9.5 games. And you took under. I believe you took 8-8 for next year. Missed the playoffs, Dallas Cowboys, although you said maybe with the 7 seed they could sort of eke or leak in that last
Get in with 9 wins, Skip.
Okay, whatever. But you also were talking about 8-8. My issue is with the offense. It led the league in yards last year, in large part because of the quarterback, who had a terrific yardage year. But to your point, there were a lot of empty calories in the yards. And Zeke didn't contribute the way I thought he was after he got paid. And I'm talking about he got paid. And yet, I expected Zeke last year to have an Emmitt Smith year, the year I was covering the Cowboys in '93 when Emmitt held out the first 2 games. And then, boom, he comes back, they're 0-2, and Emmitt goes on in 14 games to win NFL regular season MVP, then leads them through the playoffs to the Super Bowl and is the Super Bowl MVP. Well, Emmitt got his money. I thought he still deserved even more than he got from Jerry Jones. But
he delivered.
He lived up to every penny that Jerry gave him. And in this case, Zeke lived down to every penny that Jerry gave him. And I kept telling you, he looks different to me. He looks like he's running in Cabo sand. And obviously he was working out in Cabo San Lucas during his holdout through training camp. And finally, Jerry did what Jerry always does. I thought Jerry overpaid him because Jerry loves him like a son. And as Jerry always says, when have you known me not to get one of these deals done? Well, only one time, and that's this time right now with Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
But he did get Zeke done, and yet the numbers are starting to scare me, Shannon, because if we look at average yards per game in his 4 years in the NFL, Zeke has gone 109 as a rookie, 109 yards a game he averaged, then 98 in his second year, 96 in his third year when he had to miss the 6 games suspended, and then only 85 yards a game last year. And to your point, in 2 of his first 3 years, the full seasons, he did lead the league in total rushing yards.
All right, so that's enough of that. Well, here's the reality. With the extension that the Dallas Cowboys signed on with Zeke Elliott, basically, you don't want to be like the Rams where they ended up taking that $20 million dead money hit. For the Dallas Cowboys, basically, they got 3 more years, and then they can walk away from the Zeke Elliott contract without any pain. That's the reality of it. That's the gamble that the Dallas Cowboys made when they did this. They figured, well, it's better to get this thing done now as opposed to waiting until the end of like this year or, next year where you're actually kicking him down further. And you know what happens with running backs. They eventually hit that brick wall a lot sooner than other positions. The Cowboys hedged their bets on a couple of things. One, knowing it was better to go ahead and get him in here done and happy instead of having him sulk all season. Knowing that the salary cap, because Jerry Jones was part of the negotiation, would be going through the roof with the new contract deal, television contracts that'll go through, as well as the extra 17 game, as well as the gambling. So what we're looking at right now is in today's dollars. 2 years from now, that $15 million may be chump change. So we'll talk about this more tonight. And of course, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. I'll see you guys soon.